To say that the last few days have not been heavy is an understatement, but you know, so much has come up for me this last week. And so I shared my truth around my rage surrounding racism. But what has come forth recently has been, what's it called? What's the thing? A cascade of memories of my own experiences of racism. And just yesterday, my sister and I were in conversation with my eldest daughter, who's 14, about, you know, why it's important for us to speak up, why it's important for us to face racism, and to kind of, why we're fighting the fight, you know, why we're using our voice. And that is so that she doesn't have to experience some of the things that we experience. And my sister said to me, you know, sis, I remember the time when you introduced me, like my sister, to someone, and you said to them that I'm the pretty one because I'm light and my sister is fair in complexion. And that hit me differently. I hadn't realized that I had I'd been harboring such deep feelings about my skin, about my tone, and then all the memories of when I was bullied as a child about my skin tone by white kids, when I was told that I'm dark and I'm black and I'm you know, not wanting, not people not wanting to play with me and things like that. Even when black people had something to say about my skin tone, all of that came cascading. And I literally just came off a call with my coach, a session with my coach, where we were working through this, like the real beliefs that I had harbored and repressed over the years around my skin tone, and feeling the need to hide myself. And I always say, and I said to my sister, you know, if my mum, because my mum, we're pretty much twins, my mum and I, if my mum had ever bleached her skin, I would have bleached. But what saved me from bleaching my skin was the fact that my mum didn't bleach. If she had, I definitely, hands down, I would have bleached my skin. As a growing up as an adolescent, I would have asked my mom to buy me the creams and buy the soaps. I know for sure that would have happened. But just kind of thinking of that, and you know, may Allah preserve my mom in health and iman. I mean, just thinking about that really brought to light the fact that I have, on so many levels, felt the need to hide myself because of skin shame. And you know, it's crazy because there are so many women who are darker than me, you know, and who are so stunning, you know, in their darkness. And yet there'd been this internalized feeling of not enoughness about my skin tone. And I'm not one for makeup, you know, you guys know, I don't do nothing to my face, right? You see me barefaced every day. That's more because I can't be bothered. Ain't got time for that. But I see it in, you know, just the people around me, how we want to lighten our skin, we want to change the shape of our nose through makeup and things like that. But one thing that I really embraced today in my call with my coach is the fact that I am whole, and I don't need to fragment. I don't need to operate from a place of fragmentation. I don't need to operate from a place of needing to hide myself, compartmentalize myself in order to be palatable to people. That I can show up whole, regardless of if I'm going to be accepted, regardless of if I'm going to be liked, regardless of if I am this enough or that enough or this enough for anyone's palate. And black people out there, my black sisters, my black brothers, it's time, yes, to speak out. Yes, to voice our rage, to voice our anger. One thing that we need to realize is that the power of change lies within us first, to fully accept who we are and to accept ourselves as black folk, as melanated human beings that we have been created as. That is our first call of action. Take to the streets if you have to, protest if you have to, write the blog articles if you have to, do the things if you have to, but the first thing as a melanated human being, and I'm saying it as Okay, yes, self-acceptance across the board. Yes, okay, great. But as black people who have faced systematic racism and discrimination and have internalized that self-hatred and internalized that racism, internalized that discrimination, internalized messaging of not enough, your nose is not thin enough, your hair is not straight enough, your skin is not light enough, all of that, and we have internalized that. It's important for us, more so than the writing, more so than the talking, to go and honor, like to really accept the fact that we are whole and that we are enough and there is absolutely nothing wrong with us and that we are perfectly fine and we are perfectly imperfect creation of God. That is our job. That is our job. Not for the white man, the Asian man, the orange man, the green man to accept us. It is first our job to accept ourselves. That is our job. That is the journey that we want, that we should be focusing on. Because regardless of if someone likes us or not, accepting yourself is where you have your power. Regardless if someone likes you, accepts you, whatever, however they treat you, you treating yourself with the care, compassion, love that you deserve is paramount, more so than acceptance from the white gaze or the Asian gaze or the Arab gaze. Our job first is to love ourselves, accept ourselves, know that we are whole and we are worthy. We are whole and we are worthy. That is the place and the space that we need to be occupying within ourselves right now. That is the work that we need to be occupying our hearts in and engaging our hearts in right now. More so because of what we faced. Undoing those stories, undoing that damage. Yes, in our communities, first within ourselves. Rewriting our internal narrative. Rewriting our script. As people who have lived in bondage, yeah, metaphorically and literally, it's time to cut those chains by accepting and loving ourselves. And knowing that we are perfectly imperfect just the way we are. Whatever shade you were created with, you are perfectly fine and you are perfectly whole. Whatever characteristics, physical characteristics you have, thin lips, big nose, thin nose, whatever you were created with as a black person, you are completely acceptable, enough, and whole. This is our work, my loves. Yes, everyone else, you do your work too. I'm talking to my black sisters. I'm talking to my black brothers. This is our work. And this is the work that we need to do in our homes, with our families. I will no longer cringe when my youngest goes around going, I'm a strong black queen. She does it every day. Let me do that because I'm a strong black queen. I'm going to say, baby girl, yes you are. Yes you are. And I'm going to thank my sister for indoctrinating her with that positive affirmation. But every black child needs to know that they are enough, not just beautiful, but they are enough and they are whole. They are whole. They are whole. They need to hear it and they also need to see it from you. Whether that child is yours, whether it's your niece, nephew, whether it's your cousin, your neighbors, whatever child who is black you come across, let them know that they are enough, because the messaging that they will get time and time again outside is that they aren't. And my post about divorcing self-hatred is pertinent to this time. It's time to file for divorce, okay? To file for divorce of hating yourself, self-loathing, not liking yourself. It's time to divorce that mess and accept and remarry your wholeness, because you have been created not as a mistake. Not as a mistake. You were created with purpose. Specifically, the Lord of the world said, for you to be here as a black person. You have a right to take up space. You have a right to voice yourself. You have a right to remove your masks. Your masks of shame, your masks of guilt, your masks of not enoughness. It is time. It is time. Okay, I just wanted to drop this because as it's raw with me after my session with my coach today, and the thing that came up, you know, we were talking about my beliefs and things, and she said, what's a new belief? And the words that spilled forth was, I am whole. And I just there was a torrential cascade of tears. And I thought, I was gifted this today, and I want to gift it back to my people. And so every one of you, my melanated people out here, know that you are whole. And I want you to say it to yourself in your reflection, hand on heart, feel it, say it with love, say it with excitement, say it with joy. Say it as God's gift that you are. Okay? We were created by the King of Kings, and he knew why, and he knows why the world needed us.